Candice, today we are putting on our jerseys, lacing up our sneakers, and stepping onto the ultimate Disney musical battlefield. That's right. It's March Madness, but with a Disney twist.
We've built a bracket of 32 of the most iconic Disney songs, and today they're going head-to-head in a battle for the ages. Which song will reign supreme? Will it be a heartfelt ballad, an inspiring anthem, or an unexpected underdog?
We're making the tough calls, debating the matchups, and probably breaking a few hearts along the way. But in the end, only one Disney song can be crowned the champion. So everybody out there, grab your brackets, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. Hey, welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
And I'm Candice. We're here to chat all things Disney as child-free Disney adults. Stories, snacks, and a little magic along the way.
Grab a drink and get comfy and come hang out with us. Okay, Candice, are you ready for this?
I think so.
Are you, ready to have serious debates about Disney music?
Yes.
Okay. Just full disclosure, Candice and I have been drinking, so you never know how this is going to go. Tomorrow we might wake up and decide that this is not the way we wanted this to go, but we're going to release it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have 4 sections of our bracket.
Yeah.
We have the Disney classics.
Yep.
The Disney Renaissance era.
Ooh.
Which is where we grew up.
Yeah.
Kind of that late 80s, 90s type Disney music.
Yeah.
We have the modern Disney music. And then we have the villains and underdogs category.
Okay.
32 songs, as we mentioned in the intro. And we have to narrow 32 songs down to one champion for this year's bracket.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Dun, dun.
What is that from?
Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yeah, Muppets Haunted Mansion. That's right. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
Dun. I know it's not Halloween, but y'all, you have to go watch Muppet Haunted Mansion because it is classic. Am I lying?
No.
It is classic. It throws in so much from the attraction. It is just a truly amazing hour of television.
It is a beautiful piece of work.
It is. Dun dun. Okay, we are not going to skirt copyright law. I am not going to put any songs in the episode.
Okay.
But if there's things that we maybe don't know or we think the audience don't know, we can sort of hum or sing or whatever based on what we know. Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll have to. These are all very well-known songs.
Yeah.
You ready to jump in?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the bracket?
Yep.
Do you have a clear favorite?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, what's your clear favorite? What do you think is going to win?
When You Wish Upon a Star.
That's what won last time, right?
Yep.
We will see. There's some interesting ones out here. There's just so many good ones. So many from the classic era
Disney
that I think.
music. Come on.
It is. So many good. I'm not even going to pick which one I think is going to win. Here's how we're going to do this. We are going to break this down on a few different categories. So let me pull up here just a second. Here's the categories or the thoughts that I want you to have as we do this. And audience, as you listen and fill out your bracket, here's what I want you to do as well. We are going to base our decisions for each matchup based on catchiness, nostalgia, emotional impact, cultural significance, and our personal opinion.
Okay. That's fair.
So keep all that in mind.
Yep.
Okay? Let's start in the classics bracket.
Thank you.
We're going to go oldest to newest and then go to the villains and underdogs last.
Okay.
So in the classics bracket, our top seed, which you have the number 1 overall seed, I think, is the number 1 here, When You Wish Upon a Star.
Mm-hmm.
Its first round matchup is against Bellinote from Lady and the Tramp. Folks can't see your eyes roll back in your head. What are your thoughts?
There is no competition between the two.
Okay, but remember what the categories were.
Yes, I know. But, okay. So, Bella Notte in itself is a perfectly fine song. It's from Lady and the Tramp. It's while they're eating spaghetti. We all know the iconic scene.
Mm-hmm.
But When You Wish Upon a Star is basically Disney's flagship theme song.
Okay.
It hits you in the feels every single time you hear it. It doesn't matter what format it's in. It's at the beginning of every movie. It's beautiful.
Is it as catchy as Bella Notte is?
Yes. You could have somebody singing or humming or however they want to process the song of Bella Notte, and you may not know it unless you were a diehard Disney fan. Everybody knows When You Wish Upon a Star.
That's a fair point. I was just kind of playing the this is going to be a very short episode if we know that one's going to win from the get-go.
Well, we might as well just say it's going to win.
But I agree. When You Wish Upon a Star, I think, is better all around than Bella Notte.
Duh.
Here's a tougher matchup for you, I believe. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from Mary Poppins in the first round is matched up against Once Upon a Dream from Sleeping Beauty.
It's a fair matchup, but supercalifragilisticexpialidocious takes that one.
Tell me why. That's actually opposite of what I thought you were going to say.
Okay, so it's much more catchy. It's a much more upbeat tune than Once Upon a Dream. I do believe that the tune of Once Upon a Dream came directly from the ballet of Sleeping Beauty and is not a Disney original.
Really?
I believe so.
I didn't know that.
I believe so.
That is interesting.
And it's just like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is, again, quintessentially Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I tend to agree. It's just, I think it's more singable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is more Disney. All of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's another tough matchup.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Bare Necessities
from the Jungle Book.
From the Jungle Book matching up against Hi-Ho from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That is a tough matchup. However, I will say that Hi-Ho takes the banner in that one because it was the original feature animation presentation. So as far as nostalgia, it's got there. It's also on the attraction Seven Dwarfs Mine Train as you're going through the mine itself.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't know the song Hi-Ho? Not everybody knows the song Bare Necessities.
I might take issue with that. I think everybody knows Bare Necessities.
More than Hi-Ho?
Here's my hot take. I think Bare Necessities is more of a Disney, air quotes, a song than Hi-Ho is.
That wasn't the question.
It's part of it.
The question is it more notable? Is it more identifiable as a Disney song?
I think Hi-Ho. It is. I think it is. If you think through the song Hi-Ho, yeah, everybody knows the big bellowing notes at the beginning, the off to work we go, all of that kind of stuff. Everybody knows that. Which song do you dance to?
The question is not which song is more danceable. That's not what we're talking about. It was not part of the question.
I think that all has to be factored in, though.
But that was not part of the criteria of making this decision.
Which one is catchier?
Hi-Ho is easier to remember.
I don't know that it is. I could probably sit here and sing all of Bare Necessities to you right now. It's the Bare Necessities. But the only thing I can think of from Hi-Ho is Hi-Ho.
Okay.
Okay, what?
I'm still sticking with Hi-Ho.
We've got to come to reasonable we've got to agree here.
But how often outside of the realm of Disney do you actually see bare necessities being used? You've seen parodies of Hi-Ho forever.
Tell me more.
In different sitcoms, in different cartoons, in different sources of media, you've seen Hi-Ho being used as sort of an underlying theme song if a group of people are headed off to work somewhere. Versus the bare necessities, which you might see for a Disney Resorts advertisement. But aside from that, it doesn't really leave the Disney bubble. And I think that's a shame. But Hi-Ho does.
Which song is your favorite? If you had to pick between those two songs to put on your phone right now to listen to, which one would you pick?
Bare necessities. But I'm kind of saucy about Snow White, and you know that. So
Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm going to pick Bare Necessities because it's more singable every single time.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to say Bare Necessities because I honestly think that's I don't want to say better song. I want to say it's more of my favorite. And I think it is more singable. It's all of those things that make it move on to the next round. So the last matchup of the first round for the Classics bracket. Again, a tough matchup.
Mm-hmm.
A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes versus Zippity Doo-Dah from Song of the South. Which everybody probably listening knows Zippity Doo-Dah more from Splash Mountain than they do from Song of the South.
And I think of those two songs, I think that is the choice that I'm going to make versus A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes.
Okay, tell me why.
It's more singable. It's catchier. It's more notable.
Right. Like I can hear both of those songs in my head, but the one that overpowers is Zippity Doo-Dah.
Yes.
In this case, I'm leaning more towards the upbeat singable versus the ballad.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The other one is Perfectly Lovely, Lou.
Oh, yeah. It's A Dream of Wish is Your Heart. Yeah, that's easy for me to say.
A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes?
Yeah, that is... Yeah. I love that song. I just think up against Zippity Doo-Dah, it falls just a little short.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are moving into the Renaissance era.
Mm-hmm. Square fingers and all.
Square fingers and all. A few really tough matchups here, too.
Oh.
First round. What I put as our number one overall seed is Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast is up against Prince Ali from Aladdin.
Mm-hmm. That's not fair.
What's not fair?
That matchup. But honestly, I think I'm going to have to go with Be Our Guest.
Okay. I agree, but tell me why.
Okay. So my senior year in high school was the year that movie was released.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a compilation of songs from that movie, including Be Our Guest, as our marching band show that year. So that particular song hits me in the feels real hard as far as the nostalgia piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Prince Ali is a perfectly lovely song, very singable, very catchy.
Right.
But Be Our Guest is... Yes.
Right. And I think, I go with Be Our Guest for that one because of the importance to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Prince Ali introduces you to one character.
Mm-hmm.
Be Our Guest introduces you to every character. Except for the Beast.
And Belle. And Maurice. And
well,
Gaston.
The townspeople. It introduces you to all the servants of the castle.
Yes.
In such a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with Be Our Guest. Another song, this one may be tough for you. Another song from Aladdin, A Whole New World, Flying Over the Sky on a Magic Carpet Ride, is matched up against Go the Distance from Hercules.
Okay, this is a tough choice for me. However, my soul is pulled in the direction of Go the Distance.
Okay.
Because it's more of a power ballad, more of a triumphant, we can do this kind of song, and it's also a beautiful part of Happily Ever After.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about its inclusion in the fireworks show.
Mm-hmm.
And anymore, now, anytime I hear of A Whole New World,
I can show you my driveway.
yeah, I can show you the world. I can show you my driveway. It's ruined it for me. Just completely ruined it for me. I will stick with Go the Distance with You. I'm not a big fan of the movie Hercules.
I didn't say I was a fan of the movie Hercules, but that song
that is the best
is
thing
a banger.
Yeah, that is the best song that came from that movie.
Yes.
For sure. Okay. Another, like, again.
Excuse me, but where are the songs from Hunchback?
I'm sorry, they just didn't make the list.
Ugh.
How's that go again? Okay, so the next matchup in this round is The Circle of Life from The Lion King versus I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
Oh, that sucks. I don't like that one.
Do you want me to start my kind of thinking on this one?
Yes.
I'm going to stick with the singability, the advancing the plot line, again, this isn't my favorite movie. It's not like I'm not picking my favorite movie here. I'm picking what I think is the stronger song between the two, and my gut tells me I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a little bit
How's that go again?
Yeah. I was going to say shocked and stunned, but instead it was going to come out stalked and shunned. And no, that's not the case at all.
I'm not shunning you. Shun.
Reshun.
Reshun.
Unshun.
Unshun.
Wow. Okay, well, that makes my argument a little bit tougher.
Okay.
Because I was just thinking Circle of Life, simply for the iconic nature of that song.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of, like, that's the opening of Lion King.
Right.
And the great big sunrise, beautiful scene with all the animals coming to see the new baby. And, I mean, again, it's just, like, you hear that opening line, and you know exactly what is going to happen.
Yeah. I'm going to change my answer.
Okay. Thank you.
And here's why I'm changing my answer. When I saw Lion King on Broadway, this song made me cry.
And you don't ever cry at anything.
Right. I am dead inside.
Right. Well, not as much as you used to be, but yes.
Dead inside. And tears.
Yes.
Tears. Streaming down the face as an elephant leg saying Circle of Life at me.
See?
So as you said that, it reminded me of that moment. So I think for nostalgia alone and just that ability to be like, is there another song at the opening of a movie that catches you the way that one does?
No.
I don't think so either. Like, that is the strongest opening song of any Disney movie.
I agree.
So for that reason alone, it needs to win. At least for this round. Okay. Apparently. Okay, last two songs in the Renaissance bracket. Part of Your World from Little Mermaid or Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. Two power ballads from two strong female characters.
Yes. I know what I want to say, but it's not.
So just say it.
Okay, so for advancing the plot line and making a point out of the trajectory of the story, I would say Colors of the Wind.
Okay.
Because she's like, really? You're going to look at me and say these things? And yet you don't understand what's going on around you in this world, and I do?
And I have to question the way I introduced Part of Your World. Is Ariel really a strong female character?
She is.
Or is she dependent on a man? Can only find happiness in a man?
I don't think she was looking for happiness in a man. I think she was looking for happiness on land.
And the dude was just the way to get there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and she saw him go onto a burning ship to rescue his dog, which I'm sorry. But if that's the criteria.
You're volunteering?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, like, the hard thing about this song for me.
I kind of think that Pocahontas got done dirty, though.
It did. And that's
as
why,
a movie.
That's why I'm almost leaning towards Part of Your World. Which one of these two songs is one that's instantly recognizable?
Oh, for sure, Part of Your World, especially with the respin of Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, that's the most recognizable out of the two. But again, I think as far as moving the story along, because if you lift Part of Your World out of that movie,
the movie doesn't change.
The movie doesn't change. But Colors of the Wind helps you understand the characters better. It helps you understand where they're coming from better. And it kind of shifts the perspective of cultural differences.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to come up with a word to say that without sounding terrible. And that's the best I can come up with at this moment in my current state.
Which is?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy? My teeth are fuzzy. Yeah, I think I will go with you in Advanced Colors of the Wind, and here's my reason why. I think Colors of the Wind is a better song.
I agree.
Are they written by the same people?
I don't think so. Ashman and Menken wrote
Part of Your World, and Tim Rice did Pocahontas?
I don't know.
I have a computer in front of me. I should look
you?
that up. Alan Menken wrote the music for Pocahontas as well.
Oh, okay. They're both fine songs.
Yeah, but I honestly think Colors of the Wind is the objectively better song of the two.
I agree.
Tells a better story, okay, so we'll do that. We're going to modern music, which I do believe is anything past the year 2000.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting because there's a couple of these movies that I know you just don't like.
Okay.
So we'll see if that influences your opinion on which song wins.
Mm-hmm.
So our number one seed in the modern bracket is Let It Go from Frozen. And that is matched up against Try Everything from Zootopia.
Solid.
And I put the Zootopia song as the 8 seed from this one, just because not everybody is as familiar with Zootopia. So I think it's an underdog for that reason. But it's a banger of a song.
It really is. And that movie overall is pretty fantastic. And I think it's going to gain some more traction once they get the Dino Land refurb done at Animal Kingdom and get the Zootopia part up in there. So of those two, I will say Try Everything, but it's not because of my disdain for Frozen.
Okay.
It is because it is a much more danceable song. Like, you can turn on Try Everything and have your house clean in 5 minutes.
True.
And
Which is my thing with Let It Go and why I put it as the number one seed in this bracket. It is the most recognizable power anthem of any Disney song.
Whose fault is that?
Of any Disney music, right? Like if somebody were to just come up to you and say, what is the number one power anthem of all Disney princesses? What song would you come up with?
Oh, well, princesses, yes, Let It Go. She's actually queen, but I understand. I get it.
Like, she's counted as one of the princesses in the... Because
Yes.
she started out as a princess, whatever.
Yes.
She was princess until her parents died.
Yes.
Sad. Okay, so that's why I think Let It Go is the winner there. Not because I think Try Anything isn't a worthy competitor. I think if 50% of the population, if you were to ask what their favorite Disney song was, they would say Let It Go.
That doesn't mean they're right.
No. Your opinion is that they're not right.
Their opinion that they are right is their opinion.
Right.
It's not mine.
Right. Agreed. I think Let It Go, though, is a song that's more important to Disney than Try Anything is Try Everything. Try Anything. That's a completely different song. Try Everything from Zootopia.
Okay.
We need to watch Zootopia again.
We do.
I love that movie. But I think Let It Go has to move on just because of its popularity. You can make it lose in the next round.
I will.
I will have that lose over my dead body. No, that's not the right way to say that.
Not at all.
I will have that lose if I have anything at all to say about it. How's that? That's probably a better phrase. Okay, here are 2 songs. The next 2 songs in this bracket are songs by or about side characters in a movie.
Yes.
We have We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto and You're Welcome from Moana.
You're welcome. All day long.
Tell me why.
Okay. It's a lot more singable. I mean, you can throw that into anything where if anybody says thank you.
You're welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very singable. It's very catchy. And you know my feeling about things that get overhyped. And when Encanto rolled out, We Don't Talk About Bruno hit the main radio waves and became a #1 song for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's overhyped in my opinion. I'm not saying it's not a good song, but I think that You're Welcome is better along the Disney.
Yeah.
Right?
And I would even contend that We Don't Talk About Bruno is not the best song
From Encanto?
from Encanto.
Absolutely not.
But it's the most popular song outside of Surface Pressure. Those 2 are probably about the same.
But again, they made hits on the mainstream radio, and that's why.
Right. Whereas You're Welcome...
Stand on its own.
Like, if you add it, like, here's my contention. So we agree that You're Welcome is moving on. But again, I'm going back to if you go up to a stranger and ask them to sing you a song from Moana, that's the song they're going to choose.
Yes.
You ask somebody to sing a song from Encanto, they're going to choose from about 5 different songs that they know.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because You're Welcome's not even the best song from Moana.
No, but it's the most catchy.
Right.
And it sticks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one's moving on. We are going another Moana song, How Far I'll Go from Moana versus Remember Me from Coco. I'm going to start with this one.
Okay.
Nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to your point about fireworks.
Mm-hmm. I know where you're going.
That
with this.
song mixed in to the fireworks show, the current fireworks show at Epcot. Luminous.
Mm-hmm.
Will rip your heart out, shove it back in your chest, pull it back out, and rip it out again.
Yep.
And I think Remember Me is more important to the overall story.
It's a common theme.
It's the theme throughout the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas How Far I'll Go is kind of theme-ish to the movie. Like, I'm going to look beyond. I'm going to go. You'll see how far I'm going to go. But she's always trying to get home.
But.
A butt! Wow, that's a pretty big butt.
To go against your argument from a few songs that we were talking about earlier, that's a power ballad by a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's not a princess. She's the chief's daughter.
Same thing.
But it's not. But that is a power ballad, and it is something that portrays her strength very well.
Yes.
Like, she's going to go because she has to get this done.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, we're on the same page with this. It's just...
So, Remember Me's moving on.
Yes.
But yes, I agree. Like, honestly, if I had to choose songs in Moana, How Far I'll Go is the song I choose.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, which of those songs is the best song in Moana, it's that one, not You're Welcome. And I don't even think that Remember Me is necessarily the best song in Coco.
No.
But the theme tied throughout, and that's what it's all about, is, heck, that entire movie is about remembering Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Me.
It's about Day of the Dead, which...
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so last in the modern bracket, these are from, this might be a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of a controversial matchup for both of these that I even included them in this bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I See the Light from Tangled versus Show Yourself from Frozen.
I See the
2.
Light from Tangled.
I'm having trouble thinking of what Show Yourself from Frozen 2 sounds like.
So it's a really good banger as far as a ballad goes, or a power song. It's the one with the Nordic chanting ahead of it at the beginning.
Okay.
It's a beautiful song, and I love it, and it's very, very powerful. But at the same time, I See the Light, if we're going back to the discussion that we just had, I See the Light is kind of the theme through all of Tangled.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, agreed. So I will say I See the Light moves there as well.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to move down to the villains and underdogs category, the last of the 4 quadrants of the bracket. Then we'll go back to the round of 16.
Okay.
So the first one is Poor Unfortunate Souls
Mhm.
by Ursula from The Little Mermaid, matched up against One Jump Ahead from Aladdin.
So we have villain versus underdog.
Villain versus underdog in this one.
Poor Unfortunate Souls.
I agree that Poor Unfortunate Souls made the number 1 seed in this part of this bracket for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the villain songs that you can think of, that's probably the most recognizable villain song.
Yeah. Not necessarily the best.
Right, most
But
recognizable.
the most recognizable. Yeah. I agree with you.
Whereas One Jump is a great song.
And it moves the story along.
Yep.
So we have to be fair because we were talking about that and taking points off songs earlier because it didn't move the story along.
Yep.
That one does a great job of moving the story along. It's just compared to Poor Unfortunate Souls, it doesn't hold up.
Right. Agreed. So the next round of this one, I'm actually matching up 2 songs from The Lion King. A villain versus an underdog. We have Be Prepared by Scar and the Hyenas versus I Just Can't Wait to Be King by Simba.
I'm going to let you go first.
This one is tough. Again, super recognizable villain song. Be
Super
Prepared.
Recognizable other one though too.
Yeah. And I just think of...
And it's so catchy and so singable.
It is. They both are.
I know. Be Prepared moves the story further and actually adds to the story where the other one is just like...
It's I need a song for my main character to sing.
Right. And
can your main character really be an underdog?
Yes.
I guess so. Most main characters are underdogs in Disney films. So I tend... So are you saying Be Prepared is the one you would choose? I think I agree. I think Be Prepared is...
It shows you just the level of badassery that Scar is really prepared to dish out.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Versus the other one is just a fun song.
Yep.
Because you needed to make the movie 4 minutes longer.
Animators were bored.
We need to animate one more song. What should it be? This one I think you're going to find easy. This matchup. We may not even have to have a discussion on this matchup. We have Friends on the Other Side from Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
We have that matched up against the Oogie Boogie song from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, there's no question. No.
You're like, why is that song even in this bracket?
Yeah. Friends on the Other Side, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason I brought Oogie Boogie's song into this one is I think that is... I know you don't like that movie at all, but that is like a sleeper favorite movie for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And that Oogie Boogie song is something that people love.
Well, of the songs in that movie, that's probably the most notable.
Right. And there's an entire parade at Halloween dedicated to Oogie Boogie.
Right. Which, again, I'm not...
There is not even a single song in the parks dedicated to Friends on the Other Side. Even though there should be. Caveat that I love what they did with Tiana's and the ride hill is perfect the way it is, but I still think having friends on the other side be that drop hill would be amazing.
How cool would it be if once they get Villain's Land put in, that they put some sort of like voodoo bar in?
Ooh, and call it Friends on the Other Side.
Yes.
I would spend all day, every day there.
Right? They'd probably have to have a 2-drink maximum,
Right.
45-minute limit like they do at Oga's Cantina,
Right.
just so they didn't have that happen. But yes, that would be amazing.
Yes. Okay. Last matchup of the first round. We have Mother Knows Best from Tangled versus Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Gaston.
Tell me why.
It's a lot more catchy than Mother Knows Best, and I also think that it progresses Gaston's character and the understanding of who he actually is further than Mother Knows Best. I mean, Mother Knows Best establishes the fact that she is a bitter, jealous, mean old lady.
Right.
But Gaston, it tells you exactly who he is unapologetically. It's very singable. It's got a good rhythm.
Right.
And the part at the end with LeFou spelling his name is hilarious.
Yes.
In the animated version, not so much the live action, because that kind of drives me a little bit nuts at the end. But in the animated version, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think Mother Knows Best is a lie. Whereas, to your point, Gaston is telling you exactly who they're singing about. Like, he's unapologetically the villain.
Right.
What makes What's-Her-Bucket from Gothel from Tangled the villain is that she makes Rapunzel feel
she's manipulative.
And I don't like that.
Right. Where Gaston is just Gaston.
I'm a dick.
And he's as dumb as a rock.
Right.
And a huge dick. But that he is who he is.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we are now into the round of 16.
Are we going back to classics?
We are going back to classics.
Okay.
So I know what you're going to pick, but we have to discuss it anyway because
understand.
I know what you think is going to win, but hopefully some of these matchups will make you think through that a little bit. Our first round of 16 matchup is When You Wish Upon a Star matched up against Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Okay.
Two completely different songs.
Yes.
Two completely different moods.
Yep. I still have to go with When You Wish Upon a Star.
Okay.
Just because of the meaning that song has in the Disney universe and the whole, like, that is the song. Like, you don't hear, you might hear Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and think Disney. But do you think more Disney or do you think Mary Poppins?
You think Mary Poppins.
Okay. When You Wish Upon a Star came from Pinocchio. But you hear that and you think Disney.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
I'm trying to think of a way to maybe counteract that, but I don't know that I can. Because again, iconicness of When You Wish Upon a Star, I don't think it's more important to the movie that it's in. But again, Supercalifragilistic is just kind of a throwaway song.
Right.
It's we're going to jump into this painting and we're going to have fun. Versus Jiminy Cricket and the fairy.
The blue fairy.
The blue fairy. Sort of, this is who you are. This is how you become who you are.
Right. It's who you are, and there is magic to be found.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna stick with that. I'm hopeful that we're not being biased, and that one's gonna win just because I asked you what was gonna win before we started. But I tend to agree in this case. When You Wish Upon a Star needs to be the one that moves on. The next round of 16 matchup from the classics bracket is the Bare Necessities versus Zippity Doo Dah.
I think I have to go with Zippity Doo Dah.
Okay.
It's just more notable.
More notable?
More singable, more identifiable, more...
For me, those are about equal singability.
Okay.
Zippity Doo Dah, the bare necessities of life. To me, they're equal in the singability.
Right, but Like, you hear Zippity Doo-Dah and you think Disney.
You think Splash Mountain.
I think Disney. Probably because of the sing-along songs
Yes.
that they used to have out. And, like, it was part of that. But it wasn't Splash Mountain
Mhm.
characters or anything like that. It was people marching through the parks.
Right.
So, for nostalgia, Zippity Doo-Dah has it for me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. There's only one of those songs that's ever been a part of an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the
Well,
movie...
Okay, but if we're going back to talk about fireworks, because Bare Necessities was in Harmonious,
Yes.
in the India section of
Mhm.
Harmonious, and it was amazing. But I'm
Yes.
still going to go with Zippity Doo-Dah.
Yeah, I think so. I think a song that recognizable from a movie that hasn't been in print for over 70 years,
Yes.
it says something.
Yes.
70 years, 50 years, whatever it is.
A long time.
But the fact that that song is still that recognizable
Mm.
to what it's tied to, even if people don't know what movie it's from, they know it's from Disney.
Yep.
And from a movie that hasn't been published in years.
Yes.
Okay, so moving to the Renaissance bracket, the next round of 16 matchup is Be Our Guest versus Go the Distance.
Ah. That hurts a little bit.
It does, doesn't it?
I think of the two, though, I still have to go with Go the Distance.
Okay.
It's more of a power ballad. It's more inspirational, I think. It's not just dishes welcoming you to dinner. It's like if you need a little bit of hope someday and you're feeling not so good and like, I don't know that I can do this today, you listen to Go the Distance and all that goes away.
Right. If you want to hear about gray stuff, you listen to Be Our Guest.
Exactly.
I feel like Be Our Guest is more recognizable.
I don't know about that. It's not
Yeah,
part of a fireworks show.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I can't think of a good reason not to advance Go the Distance over Be Our Guest. So we'll go with that. Audience, listen in. Come out. Number one, tell us if it made it that far in your bracket. Number two, tell us why Be Our Guest should win over Go the Distance. We're moving Go the Distance on, I think, because of all the reasons you said. It's more important to the story. I think it's a song that connects to people more closely than maybe Be Our Guest does, versus Be Our Guest is probably the more recognizable to the movie that it's in.
And it's more danceable and more singable.
But it means more to the individual than maybe Be Our Guest does. So
Right.
That's why we're moving it along. Come out, let us know why you would have chosen different if you would choose different.
Mhm.
The second round of 16 matchup in the Renaissance bracket. Again, this one might be kind of difficult. Circle of Life from The Lion King versus Colors of the Wind.
Circle of Life.
I tend to agree. And like, as I said, that might be kind of difficult. I don't think it is.
It's really not. Because again, you have that opening call out of Circle of Life. You know
Mhm.
exactly what's coming. You know exactly what you're watching. All of these things. Colors of the Wind, yeah, that's fine. And you think you know whatever land you land on. And
Mhm.
you get there eventually. But it doesn't have the power of Circle of Life.
Yep. Yeah, I tend to agree. I think that's, before we even started talking about it, I moved Circle of Life into the next round. So moving back over to the modern size for this round of 16, we have Let It Go from Frozen versus You're Welcome from Moana. I can see your face where your bias against a movie is kicking in.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Let It Go because I think it's the more well-known song.
And equally singable.
Yes. And it is very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about that song and the lyrics of that song, it's a power ballad.
It is, but, and I'm moving it on because I tend to agree. I think it's the one that needs to move on. But the older I get and the more I listen to those lyrics, the less I like the lyrics of that song.
Well, it is what it is.
Right. But, like, this is a song about a person that's choosing to isolate themselves from everyone else.
It's amazing I don't like it more for that reason.
She's an introvert. That's it. That's why that song is so... But you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Like, I'm going to run away from my problems.
Right.
The
I'm
cold-
going to hide away from them.
I'm going to hide away because the cold never bothered me anyway.
I hate cold, so I can't have that as my song. Never mind.
But you get what I'm saying, why I think the more I listen to those lyrics, the
Yes.
less I like them.
Yes. Like, it's powerful for the wrong reason.
Right.
Like, if you think about Disney Princess and being a role model or an icon,
Right.
the last thing you want is for her to say, you know what, F it.
I give up. I'm going to run away from
F
all
you,
of my
F
responsibilities.
everybody else. I have no responsibilities. I'm going to live on this
Yep.
mountain in a snow palace or an ice palace with a snow monster named Marshmallow. Excuse me.
Which is a great name for a snow monster.
I know. But why on earth would you not want to be a queen?
Right.
Excuse me. But if you're born as a princess, you were born to be queen.
Right.
Why do you shirk your responsibility? See, this is another reason I don't like that entire franchise. It's garbage. Bring back the Maelstrom.
R.I.P.
TM.
TM. We're going to get a t-shirt made that says bring back the Maelstrom. Probably already exists, but it's not hanging at the hangar bar branded. Yet. Okay, so Let It Go is moving on, even though we have some fundamental problems with the song and the movie.
Yes.
The next modern era matchup
Oh,
is...
but as of the two, You're Welcome is probably more singable and more happy and more upbeat.
Yeah, but again, doesn't advance the plot at all.
No, but you can still work it into daily conversation.
You can.
Whereas with Let It Go, it just makes you sound like an asshole.
Let it go.
God.
The cold never bothered me anyway. Jeez. Okay, so the next matchup in the round of 16 is Remember Me from Coco versus I See the Light from Tangled. This is tough.
It is, but I have to go with Remember Me.
Okay.
Because when we had the discussion to pick that out earlier, we were discussing that it sort of carries through the entire film, which is true, and it's kind of the underlying theme of the whole thing, and it draws the characters together.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I See the Light is fine, and it is sort of an overarching theme of the entire movie. However, it's just Rapunzel's journey and doesn't really involve anyone else.
Right. I'm trying to think of what I See the Light sounds like. Is that the one where she's watching the lanterns on her birthday?
Mm.
And she even sings about the lanterns on her birthday every year? Okay. Yeah. Remember Me, I think, is, again, more important to the story, all of those kind of things.
Yep.
Moving down into the villains and underdogs round of 16.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid versus Be Prepared from The Lion King. Two great villain songs.
Mm-hmm. But I have to go with Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Okay,
I think it's
why.
just better well known. Better well known? More well known?
Whatever, it's fine.
Okay. I also think it's a touch more singable. I mean, they both are, but I think that one has more. I don't know. It's just, it feels like more of an icon song to me than Be Prepared does. Be Prepared is fabulous.
Yeah.
But I think as far as Disney villains go, Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Yeah, so, like, I mentioned it when we were going through the first round. Of all the villain songs that are out there, is there a more iconic villain song
I don't think so.
than Poor Unfortunate Souls?
I don't think so.
Just the animation around that with the little squiggly people and how people are having to sign
Very
contracts.
powerful.
It is. Yeah, it's I'm a badass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an evil person.
Like, it is.
But they signed, I didn't make them work against their free will.
Nope. It's just like we were talking about with Gaston. It shows you exactly who Ursula
Right.
is and how she works.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. So I agree with moving that on. And then, again, I think another tough matchup. I think our toughest matchups might be in the villains and underdog section.
Mm-hmm.
So the next round of 16 song is Friends on the Other Side from The Princess and the Frog versus Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but not so much. I still have to go with Friends on the Other Side because it's more singable,
Mm-hmm.
I think, than Gaston. It's also a little less silly.
Yes.
than Gaston is, and I think it's just, I don't know. I just like it better.
Yeah, I'm moving that one along as well. I think Gaston is not really a villain song. It's not a hero song.
No.
It's not a song that advances anything. Again, it's just an introduction to a character.
It does a fabulous job of that, though.
Right. Whereas Friends on the Other Side establishes Facilier as one of the scariest villains in any Disney movie.
True, and how dependent he is.
Right, on somebody else, something else.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that song, and I think it'll create for a better discussion in the next round.
Probably.
So, okay, jumping back to the classics bracket in the Great 8 round,
Okay.
we have When You Wish Upon a Star matched up against Zippity Doo Dah. Is that a harder choice for you than you thought it was going to be?
Yes.
It is the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed in that bracket.
Again, and I'm not saying this just because I figured this was going to win the whole thing, but I have to go with When You Wish Upon a Star for the simple, iconic meaning of that song to Disney as a whole.
Okay.
Again, movies open, you hear When You Wish Upon a Star. You see a commercial, it's When You Wish Upon a Star. You see Super Bowl commercials, it's When You Wish Upon a Star. It's just, that is Disney.
That's true. Every Super Bowl, when they ask somebody what they're going to do next, they're playing When You Wish Upon a Star when they say, I'm going to Disney World or Disneyland, depending on where the game was played.
Yes. Zippity Doo Dah is close, but it's not there.
Because again, Zippity Doo Dah is known from Splash Mountain.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And yes, it's Disney, but When You Wish Upon a Star is more so.
Yep. Next time I make a music bracket, I'm going to leave that song out.
No.
So we can have something else advance.
No.
No. Okay. The Great 8 or the Elite 8 from the Renaissance area side of the bracket is Go the Distance from Hercules versus Circle of Life from The Lion King.
Oh, Lord.
So this would be like the 2 seed versus the 4 seed.
I don't care about any.
I'm just saying Circle of Life would be considered the favorite here, I think.
Right. And I think I have to go with Circle of Life.
Okay. Why?
It's a more iconic song.
Yeah, I would go this one, Circle of Life, for me too. Like, I love Go the Distance as a song. But again, iconicness of music.
Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay.
It is now. I think Circle of Life really does embody Disney music from that era.
Yes.
Whereas Go the Distance might not.
Right.
Hold on just a second. I'm moving that along in the bracket. Okay, moving back over to the modern era, we have Let It Go from Frozen matched up against Remember Me from Coco.
Remember Me.
Tell me why.
Because it hits you in the feels.
It does.
Let It Go, again, has the power behind it, but as far as something that's going to tie you to a film, Remember Me has that nostalgia feel to it. It's got luminous behind it. It's all those things that we love about it so much. And it's not just some twat waffle singing in an ice palace.
About running away from all of her problems.
Right. Because that's a good role model.
Right. Yeah, I tend to agree. I like Remember Me. Let It Go is a great song. I think it's very singable. It's all of that. But I think Remember Me, I'm saying that though, I just keep remembering Hector when Miguel is getting ready to sing at the plaza. And he's no, not that song.
That's because that's what everybody was singing because it was
so well known.
And yes.
And he
De La Cruz's most famous song.
Right. But he also didn't want it sung because it reminded him of Coco.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Remember Me, moving on. Villains and Underdogs bracket. Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid versus Friends on the Other Side from Princess and the Frog.
Ah! I don't like this one at all. You go first.
I have been on a Princess and the Frog kick for years.
Mm-hmm.
That story, the way that's animated, the way it's made, all of those things is just so good. And I almost want to say so American in nature.
I get it.
Because it's New Orleans, it's that whole jazz vibe, which is my typical vibe for that kind of American music. I'm leaning towards Friends on the Other Side just for that reason. And again, I think of the villains, Facilier feels like a more realistic villain, somebody that's out to manipulate
he totally
you.
Is, because he's just a human that has called on dark forces to get what he wants.
Right.
Whereas Ursula is a completely mythical creature.
Right.
Yeah. I get it.
So I'm leaning towards Friends on the Other Side for that reason.
I just think it's a catchier song.
Yes. Are you ready? Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, this is fun. Okay, so we're moving Friends on the Other Side, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we are down to the final four, Candice.
Okay.
The left-hand side of the brackets, we are now classics up against the Renaissance, period. What we've advanced through to the classics is When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio. That is matched up in the final four against Circle of Life from The Lion King.
Huh. That's interesting.
Harder than maybe what you thought it was going to be, wasn't it?
A little bit.
So I'm gonna advocate for Circle of Life for a minute.
Okay.
Circle of Life introduces kind of the entire movie. It sets the plot for the movie. Like, this is just setting in motion everything that needs to be set in motion. It's I think it's a more iconic opening of a song. It is a more, what's the word I'm looking for? It is more, I can't think of the word, but it just feels more important to the story than being told when you wish upon a star, good things are going to happen. Versus we're singing about the world working the way the world is supposed to work. So, but your point that I feel you're going to make is still, which is more iconic to Disney as a company?
Well, but see, that's where my mind is struggling. Because if you hear the opening, I mean, even the first note of Circle of Life. Yes. You know that it's Lion King. And you know that it's Disney.
Yep.
I'm going to go Circle of Life.
Can you have Circle of Life go over When You Wish Upon a Star?
It hurts, but I can.
Okay. We're going to do that. Again, folks, we said at the beginning of this, we're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, did we really do that?
I'm feeling that right now. With the decision I just made, I'm feeling that right now.
Okay, so modern era versus villains and underdogs. We have Remember Me from Coco matched up against Friends on the Other Side from The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, dear.
This is hard.
Oh, but I know what I'm picking.
Okay.
I'm picking Friends on the Other Side.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make me cry. And for me, that's a big deal.
And Remember Me makes you cry?
Yes!
Every time?
Yes!
Even when it's What's His Bucket singing it?
Yes!
Yes! Do I want to argue this one?
No, you don't.
I'm going to go with Friends on the Other Side with you. I am not going to argue that one too hard, just because I think if you think about Friends on the Other Side, it is a Well, no. If you think about Remember Me, it almost is overdone even in its own movie.
I agree.
Like, I know it's the theme that plays throughout the entire
But
movie, but again, to my earlier point, even Hector is like, no, this song is overdone.
Mm-hmm. I love how it makes fun of itself.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think whereas Friends on the Other Side sets a real tone. Okay. So we're moving Friends on the Other Side through, right?
Yes.
Championship, Candice.
Mm.
We have Circle of Life versus Friends on the Other Side. For the 2025 Music Madness bracket champion. So this is going to be the number one song of 2025. Circle of Life from The Lion King or Friends on the Other Side from The Princess and the Frog.
Circle of Life.
Tell me why you think that.
Because I think it's less of a niche song than Friends on the Other Side. And as we were talking about before, you hear that first note, you know exactly what's coming, you know exactly what it is, you know it's Disney.
Yep.
Whereas with Friends on the Other Side, I mean, yeah, you hear the bump, 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 bump. Those who know.
Right.
But those who don't are like,
this just sounds like a cool song.
What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Circle of Life, again, sets the tone for the entire movie.
That it does.
Whereas Friends on the Other Side sets the tone for a villain.
Yep. And a good one.
Right. Right. 100%. It's a good one. But I think Circle of Life is the clear, I don't even say, I would say clear winner there. I think it is the more iconic of the songs.
Mm.
It's kind of the one we grew up with.
Yep.
So for us, it feels more like this would be the song that is the anthem of our life.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Friends on the Other Side, which is just a movie we love.
Yes.
We don't connect with it as much.
Yes.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Folks listening, did we get it right? Did you have a different champion? Did you have the same champion, you just got there in a different way? Do you disagree with absolutely everything that we said in this episode? Are you shocked, Candice? Are you shooketh?
I am a bit shooketh. I will say that. My Disney heart is fluttering a little bit, and I'm not sure that I'll recover for a while.
I need a beer.
No, I definitely do not need to drink anymore. But yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. But you're happy with where we ended up?
Yeah.
Ish.
Kinda.
I feel a little oogie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Circle of Life wins the 2025 Music Madness bracket for Disney Music. Which I'm actually a little surprised. When you sounded very definitive an hour ago.
Well, and again, it's not... That win was well-deserved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I could still come and argue against the two
Right.
of those songs.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any other song that could have matched up against When You Wish Upon a Star like Circle of Life did.
Just because of the recognizability of
Right.
it.
And if you put
And the power that it has.
Right, and if you put When You Wish Upon a Star versus Friends on the Other Side, there's a clear winner.
Absolutely.
But Circle of Life and Friends on the Other Side are a little closer.
Mm-hmm. Still not close enough.
Right, that's why Circle of Life wins.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think, yeah, interesting. That went differently. I look at all the songs and I don't know which one I thought was going to win. I probably would have said something along the lines of probably a You're Welcome or a Let It Go, just because of the current popularity, but that's also a horrible way to pick a bracket.
I would have gone down swinging. If Let It Go would
we
have...
cannot have that there.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Bring back the Maelstrom.
TM.
Okay, folks, let us know, how did your bracket go? Hopefully you found the bracket on social media and you filled it out and played along with us. That's kind of what our hope is, that you're sitting there right now, sitting at your desk or in your car or on a treadmill or wherever you're listening to us, yelling at us about how we got something wrong or cheering because we got something right. But that's kind of where we're at. So we want you to do that. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We had a ton of fun recording this. And if you want more of these bracket type challenges, even though it won't be March for long, just let us know. We can put together some more of these throughout the year because I think they're a ton of fun to record. So let us know if you'd like more of that. And remember, there is a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And we'll see you real soon.